Hello, hello, and welcome to episode 26 of the TechTeenth Podcast, y'all. Oh my gosh, where Black excellence and tech meets. I'm your girl, Janita.
I'm C. Jones. Rick's 252.
And we are making it towards the end of this year. I got to start this off by saying I am proud of us, man. We have been consistent.
We have.
Okay?
Diligent,
and
yes.
we need just a couple moments to,
Hey, shout out to you, Janita, because we would probably still be planning this podcast. If it was for me, we'd still be planning at this point for the first episode.
No,
so
been
shooting it from our phones and recording this in the voice notes.
Janita was like, "No, we are doing this. Let's do it. Let's try it. If it don't work, we can change it. It's all good. Let's go with it." I was like, you know what? Let's do it.
Here we are, episode 26. We made it.
Growing and falling forward.
Yes. What does this put us almost at? Like
we're 6 months. We're over 6 months now.
I mean,
every week.
Do you know, also, random stat, just to give us, and then we'll get into this episode, but most podcasts fail after episode 11. I didn't realize how soon it was, but also when I think about it, like 11 weeks, it's like, it's probably hard to commit to something after 3 months, or like, to come up with topics to have something sustainable. So, as we kind of round out 2025, I think it's just really good to have a little praise on that.
We bring a lot of experience, a lot of things to the table, so it makes it easy for us. We're just talking about our lives.
And we're chit-chatters. We'll just yap all day.
No. We could have an hour-long episodes.
We really could. We really could. Let us know if that's something you want us to do. Because Lord knows, I mean, we can yap, or maybe don't let us know. I don't know. But today we are going to be asking and talking about a question that's recently popped up. I'm going to read the quote here, but Pharrell recently made waves. I know this was a few weeks ago, but it's still kind of hitting home. Still some topics of discussion. Where he was speaking regarding DEI, where he said, "Do you want someone to support your startup because you're Black or because you're the best?" So I think now for me, it's about us having the best ambition, and that's the reason why you should support these businesses. Yes, they happen to be Black and brown, but it should be based on the thesis that they're the best, not because of a shade of skin color.
Yeah, and I think we have to jump on this topic because with us being in tech and coming from these different realms, it's not just the music industry he's talking about or the fashion industry. Like that impacts every Black person around the world when he says things like that, right? So I definitely, I heard the whole speech that where he was coming from, and I'm like, you're talking about the mindset of empowerment a little bit here. And you want to kind of exclude people based off of, let's say, historical context, right? So it's one of those type of things that, our parents always told us, we have to work twice as hard to get us half as much, right? So there are people that are out there that are busting their butts to be the best, or even be acknowledged that they're even someone in that conversation. But I do think that there's other entry barriers or points that he's not acknowledging a little bit because he's coming from a place of privilege. And I said it to say, like, we have to continue giving people the opportunities to even try to get into the doors, because people are being blocked because of their skin color and not just because they are the best.
Yeah, I mean, it really hit a nerve for me because it's not a either or. It's a and or both. Like, we're Black and brilliant, not Black or brilliant, or Black or the best. We're both, right? That's why we're getting hired. Not because of the color of our skin, but because we're the most qualified person on paper and killed the interviews.
Right.
We talked about that on a couple episodes back where I killed the interview, got the offer at the job, at the interview itself, because not because I was Black, but because I was the most qualified and the best candidate.
Right.
So that's why it really struck a nerve for me, because I'm like, nah, bro. And a lot of our life, it's and or. And that's not either or, it's and. It's both.
I think it was just, you were able to articulate a bit of what I was feeling, which was like, why does it always have to be one or the other? And like, why do we continue to perpetuate that being like in this hired because I'm Black category just has to be bad? Like, that's a part of the rhetoric. Is like, oh, you got into school. What was it for us? Oh God, what's the name of that? It just escaped me. When you get into school, into college, and they put it under a group of people.
Like Title III or something?
No.
Affirmative action?
Yes.
Yes.
Like, oh, you only got in because of affirmative action. And it's like, no.
No, bro, I had a 4.0 and I had a 1,400 SAT score.
No, that's not, that's not what did it, you know? And like, even just the assumption that it has to be even this question of like, are you hired because you're Black or because you're the best? It's like, no, I was hired because I'm the best and I'm Black.
Yeah. I think we and going back to the school conversation, I had a lie on my resume. I'll be honest about it because my GPA wasn't.
You said you had a lie on
my resume? Yeah, I had a lie on my resume about my GPA. We had talked about that a couple episodes ago. Yeah. But when I got into the rooms and having a conversation, like I just didn't take tests well. So again, but also too, I learned that my counterparts in my program were also cheating because they had every single test, every single project, homework assignment, all on flash drives at the time, and they were being shared amongst these fraternity houses.
Oh yeah.
So again, they're not studying.
Oh yeah.
They're not spending hours and hours and hours. Not everybody, but there's a few of them. But I'm telling you, they were coming to class. They were high, not focused. I'm in there doing all the discussions. So again, we want the best. I'm a person who actually read this book, maybe didn't understand this particular information. They just did it 30, 40 minutes studying that before and got an A or B on this test. Like again, you're talking about hiring the best. Again, put me on the ground in any job, I'm going to outwork you. Yeah. So again, he can't even get to that point because he's already kind of discrediting people a little bit in my eyes doing that.
Yeah.
He's hiring anybody because, if there's Black, I'm not going to support you because you're Black. Like, you're not even giving people a chance at that point.
But the crazy part is we still underrepresented. Like, we're such a small percentage of the overall population. Even in like tech leadership, we're only Blacks in tech leadership is only 3.5% of the overall leadership. Wow, 2024. Yeah, but that's leadership, not just overall numbers. That's just the leaders in the company that are Black. But in my company, our CEO is Black. Our CIO is Black. My cyber leader is
That's a one-off.
I know, right? That's a 1 in a million, right? So, but if more companies can take on that approach, it's not because they were Black, because he's not the CEO because he's Black. He's the CEO because he was the best fit for the company and for the job. So that's what we need to focus on, like the qualifications, not the color of the skin. Color of skin is just secondary.
Yeah. And there's so many, again, those barriers of entry that we've been blocked from for so long.
That's true.
And that's why we have the certain groups, whether it's fraternities, whether it's we spoke about all the academic groups like the NSBs and NABAs, right? Those groups exist for a reason. It's to help get us at least a foot in the door to show that we can actually do the work. So yeah, we got to stop blocking ourselves. And it's also kind of disheartening coming from somebody like him, right? Like he's the Black, he's put Black people on his back. Well, I don't know if that's the right term or not, but he's done a lot for Virginia. He's done a lot for music. He's an icon, like not taking anything away from him, but he has to understand, like, just kind of humble yourself a little bit too and kind of understand like what people are still dealing with in our community and what we're fighting for.
I think it's just that literal, like at times you can't speak on things when you are at such a point of privilege, because also like, yes, Pharrell's done a lot of great things. There's nothing here to discredit the work he's done, full stop. Next, right? You also, as somebody who has been rich longer than you've been poor, like by 3 times maybe the amount at this point, right? Because Pharrell started very young. So it's also like you don't have these same types of issues and can't really relate anymore. So to put that out there and make that assumption is one thing, but it also speaks to your privilege because you're just spitting this rhetoric that now you've heard that actually continues to bring Black people down. If you continue to think that you don't have an opportunity to get a job for your knowledge, that's the same perpetuation of like, let's strip you of culture, let's strip you of the knowledge that you have, let's make it seem like you don't have it in you to be best. There has to be some other reason, where it's like, that's actually, I would almost argue a lot of times that's not the case, because I don't know any company that would hire a dumbass Black person over somebody qualified. You know what I mean? Like that actually does not make any business sense.
Yeah, I mean, Pharrell got hired by Louis Vuitton because he's Black, if you want to call it, because they want to partner with Black brand, Timberland. Like they wouldn't have never did that with a white producer. Like they couldn't have had that collaboration. So in actuality, he's in the narrative he's spitting, he's part of it.
Also for the best reason, right? Like they also realize they won't be successful without the extra added Black culture, the Black influence on the brand. And it's not meant to make Louis Vuitton less valuable or increase their value. It's literally, hey, with the way that fashion is going, streetwear that actually was made popular from hip hop culture, from Black culture, that is a better way for us to go, and we'll be seen in a better light for it.
Yeah.
And so I think it's even that of like, I don't know, this thought that like that's also somehow has to be a bad thing if you are welcome for your culture.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I think whatever they do with those Timbs and Louis Vuitton, they're ugly. I don't care. So
I mean, I think it's crazy to charge somebody $85,000.
If he's the best person for the job, then somebody made a bad decision. If that's what he came up with, I'm sorry, I'll call it out. It's terrible. They look terrible.
Yeah,
and they worth for a pair of Timbs, right?
Yeah,
and they're not for us.
Yeah.
Like.
Us. Well,
I'm saying, wait. Well, I'm saying us in this room. $1,000, and we're Black tech executives. So there's another level of executives. They're making millions plus a year. They might be for them, but it ain't for the normal person. That's just what it ain't for the.
It's fine. It's whatever. But I lost my point. But just because it's expensive doesn't mean it looks good. I just want people to take that away. Just because it's $80,000 or $100,000, it does not look good. I don't care. They're ugly.
Just because it's white, don't mean it's right.
Stupid. Stupid. Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
But yeah, like I guess could we talk about some like the psychological piece of it, right? Like because I, being a Black man in corporate America, sometimes like I have to be perfect, right? I feel like there's like this sense of I gotta be on my top level game all the time. Like I can't slip at all.
Why is that?
Because I'm Black and because I'm the first to go. If something messes up, they're gonna look at letting me go first before my white peer or Asian peer, right? So sometimes, but
I said the same thing recently. I feel like I'm the same way because if we mess up, it's only one of, again, who's nearest. There's nobody near my level, right? So again, if a white or a brown person messes up, they're 50% of the company. You know, it's like their messes up are a lot quieter than ours. They could point to Charles, and Charles is the only Black person here, and then and it's just loud throughout the entire company. But versus I'm gonna say Ashton, he messes up, then it's Ashton is another white person out of 500, 600 people.
I had an example of that. I had back in the day, I had a coworker on the team, white male, and we always had to go on camera. This is right, COVID, first part of COVID, we had to be on camera. He would never go on camera. But if I was not on camera for 2 seconds, they'd be like, oh, this is why you aren't coming on camera. I'm like, but he's never on camera. Like literally never went on camera. I'm like, well, why am I the one getting called out? I was the only Black person on the team. So I'm like, why am I getting called out for doing something that this guy, he was my cheer.
They probably thought you were napping. So Black people are lazy.
That's a good point.
It's the assumptions.
Yeah. That's a very valid point. So that's why we always got to be on top of our game.
Exactly.
I mean, I definitely think there's some psychology there. I always wonder though, like how are we able to help ourselves? Because something I used to tell actually a lot of my coworkers or the people who work for me. One of them actually reached out to me recently, which may be a good story for a pod soon. But I always told them, stop making everything a race issue. Like, stop making everything something that is trapped around race, because then that's going to be your scapegoat for everything that you have. And it actually does exactly what you said, which it adds anxiety. Like it doesn't actually provide you a space to feel comfortable to fail. Now, granted, right, I'm the Black boss telling them that to basically give them space to be like, hey, you can't pull that card here. So either you need to get better or you need to know that I'm a safe place to fail. Like, that's the only way you're going to learn. So reaching for perfectionism is actually fucking things up way more than just making the mistake and understanding that you're fine. But I wonder where we can have that psychology come back around to, like, when you're not maybe under, a Black leadership or something like that. Because I find myself in this space now where it's like, I have to have audacity. Like that way of thinking doesn't help me at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if I continue to make myself overly anxious with, oh my gosh, if I don't do this right, then this is another Black company that's going to fail, da, 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 da. It's like, no, I can't think that way. That doesn't actually help you progress. It keeps you stuck in like psychological warfare.
Right.
So not to say like it's not factual, because I want to make that super clear that that is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that some of the facts and some of the things that we have as lived experiences aren't real, but I almost want to challenge even you guys. Like, how can we actually have a different lens of like, hey, I need to be the one that says I can do this. And if it doesn't work out, I can try again. Right. Instead of, hey, if I don't do this, now there won't be any other Black people and now I got to go. It's like, how can we shift mindsets and maybe talk more about like the importance of your mind being like, I can fail and try again, and that's fine. Like that is actually where you see growth.
And I get that. And I don't mind failing. I do think it's a point where we've gotten so far in our careers now where we're okay to fail. We can go try things but I do feel like there's a responsibility, in a sense, to make sure those under us don't fail too, and kind of passing on that mindset to be great and just not just to perform well, right? Don't shortcut, don't do things like that. And I think having certain mentors and sponsors, not say I was coming in for that reason, but they helped me elevate my game at an early age.
But to be fair, you were not going to be that person regardless of a mentor. Like, hear me out.
We get set up for failure.
No. But what I'm saying is when you talk about shortcuts, if you are a person that's going to take a shortcut, you'll never be like in a leadership position. I think that's what I'm saying is I feel you, but also in the same way of which if I told you, hey, if I gave you that same philosophy for your son, and every time you're like, but I want him to learn, and I said, no, but you don't want him to fail. Just do it for him, or just show him all the things. So I think that's more of what I'm getting to is like real mentorship is actually saying, hey, I can give you the building blocks, but you have to go do this. And if it doesn't work out, you have to figure out why, and you have to figure out the approach, and I'm here to maybe help guide. And I think that's our ownership. But to say like, oh, you can't fail, that is, in my opinion, setting someone up to fail.
Yeah, I'm in a lot of rooms, a lot of people, as far as leaders who over the years where I'm telling you, it's the noise around us is so much louder than their skin color.
Again, I'm not saying I never want to say that those facts and like lived experiences aren't true. I'm just saying I think we have to be the ones to own the empowerment behind like where that thought is without creating some sense of pressure that actually can send you into a downward spiral.
Yeah. Well, what do we think for just us? What do we think the best looks like minus skin color?
Oh, for me, I can tell you the best for me is consistency, honesty, like willing to actually say when you don't know, asking for help, and continuing to like look to do better out of maybe even, it doesn't have to be a failure. It can just be like, okay, we performed, we got to target, but what was it that we could do to maybe make ourselves 2% better next year? I want people that do that. People like, I think the best is like you look for your own solutions. You're goal oriented and driven and attached to what you're doing in some form or fashion, and you're very clear on what that determining factor is.
I agree with that because like growth, like if you fail and you fail and you're like, man, I failed, but you don't want to do anything after the fail, you just give up. Versus like I failed, but I learned something from it. And next time I know I can do X, Y, Z and be better. I'd rather have that person than someone who just fails and be like, man, I failed and I can't do anything and I'm stuck. And there are people out there that just be like, they can't handle the failure, the pressure of failure. So someone who's looking to grow, right? On a consistent basis, being consistent. Someone who is always like, I'm the type of person where I'm always trying to help the next person, right? If I finish my work, I'm like, and people are like, oh, I'm swamped. I'm like, okay, well, let me help you out with some of this stuff. Let me take on some of your deliverables because I know you're swamped and I want to help you. So lending a helping hand when you can. Also someone who we talked about it a long time ago, the beer test. Right? The beer test was, right, if I can sit in the room, like when you're interviewing, can you have a beer with this person? Could you sit in a cube for 8 hours or a space for 8 hours with this person and like interact with them and like them and want to be around them? Some people you don't want to be around all day.
No.
So I think that's very important. Key to being the best is someone that can cater to different audiences and diverse backgrounds of people, but can also still hold their own and still be like someone who stands out.
Yeah, I think I agree with both you guys. I think the drive, execution, just getting things done in a timely manner, but also just quality too. Again, I think the piece for you to stick out to me was around just kind of helping others as well. So it's sharing those thoughts, sharing ideas, collaborating, making sure people's voices are heard, and again, taking constructive criticism.
1000%. Oh yeah.
You gotta be able to take it, just take it, let it off your sleeve. It's not personal. It's a PowerPoint deck.
Right. Like,
nobody died.
Nobody's calling you a bitch. Just change slide number 3. Like, please.
I had to, so I can raise my hand on that. I was one of the ones early on in my career where people would give me constructive criticism. I hated it because I'm such a perfectionist. So it'd be like you said, change that one thing on the slide. And I'm like, I worked on this slide. Yo, I got a story. Quick story. I worked on this slide for days. Oh my God, I thought it was the best slide I ever created. Sent it to my senior manager, Indian woman. She was like, this is the worst slide I ever seen. And she sent me a good slide, a great slide. I was like, oh, crap. It was
This is the worst slide.
But I thought what I had put together was the best thing I ever put together, but no, it wasn't.
But I think that it's those moments to maybe highlight, like, hey, that's where you can actually see growth. And I think you were great to be afforded an opportunity, because sometimes what I do know can happen is somebody will say that's the worst slide I've ever seen, reiterate, and they don't actually give you an example.
Exactly.
And then that way you can quickly like get it together to be like, oh yeah, it don't matter how much time I spent on this. Whatever it might be. So I'm gonna steal a question. Do you guys feel like you guys have ever been a DEI hire?
You go first. This is my question that she sold.
I wasn't sure if he was gonna do it, but I want to talk about it. Well, I felt it, and I was like, I'm gonna ask.
So it's a little, I'm kind of 50-50 on it, right? And I'll probably say more so probably 75-25 saying yes to being a D and I hire, just because of always being around, I guess, marginalized groups. So like the National Society of Black Engineers, right? That's a specific group for Blacks in engineering. There's not a lot of Blacks in engineering versus the rest of the world. I've been to the National Accounting of Black Accountants. Yeah. And there's the National Black MBA Association. So there's all these marginalized groups to help us get in the door, right? There are companies that are coming here as well. Now, it's kind of twofold. They're coming here for the best of us in that group, but they're also coming because they have to hit certain quotas too, in my opinion. And I think that's what it was some time ago. And I feel like it's hard for us to argue that now when DEI has been stripped away for everybody, all marginalized groups, but they were coming to the HBCUs. They were coming to certain, even the fraternity sororities, they're recruiting the best of the best, but also it was us going in there to doing the recruiting. So now I'll be honest and say, when I was recruiting for Accenture back in the day, I'm going to these career fairs and these schools, like I'm looking for the best, but I'm also just looking for somebody who looks like me.
True. Yeah. I was in that same boat. Yeah. So when I was doing the hiring, going on a recruiting trail, I would personally only talk to people who look like me, because I'm like, we need more of us in here. Like, there's enough of them. Come on over here. Like, and they'd be like, no, I want to work with y'all. Y'all ain't got none of us there. Like, there's no Black people there. So why would I want to work with you versus another company that has a larger influence in Black culture or has larger population of Black people? But I definitely did that. Like, we got to do that though. In those roles, we got to be the ones that hire us. Because we won't get hired. I mean, we will.
So you might not think you are one, but somebody looked at you as one at some point.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You don't think you've ever been a DEI hire?
Not really. Yeah. Just based on what was going on and like the jobs I've had. So like, and that's why like I didn't go to a HBCU. So there wasn't, and where I ended up going after school was not like a recruited thing. I applied, I got the job. There were several other Black people there. Like it wasn't so crazy that it felt like I needed to hit a quota. I got promoted, and I know that was because of the work I did and not because of the color of my skin. Then going to Flexport, I mean, if anything, that would have been the dumbest thing. Like they hired a Black pregnant woman. Like that's crazy, you know? And so I have to know that that's off of my merits, just from the simple fact of like, you hire somebody to lose them. Another topic for another day. But to have them go on an extended leave, you know, within months of them being hired, and then all of the other things that happen after, or maybe the closest thing to a DEI hire might be my current job, but it was based on like, we want to keep leadership Black, so we can continue to be a Black run company.
Yeah.
But I truly don't believe that anything I've done has been based on we have a percentage that we need to hit and you're the best of that percentage.
Before you answer, Otis, just to kind of counter a little bit, well, do you feel like you've ever been looked over for a role?
No.
No?
No. Because I work listen, no. Nope. I've never felt like there was something that was mine that then somebody got. Now, I do feel like I've been abused for way too long and then not given an opportunity.
Okay.
But I could also very well, that was when I learned it doesn't matter what you want. If there's no business sense and there's no reason for it, you're not going to get it, even if you are the best, even if you have been working. And that was more of my life lesson of that I can actually see that there are no manager jobs. Like somebody had to sit me down and be like, hey, if we make you a manager, who are you managing? We don't want one manager with two people. Like if somebody else can have a team of 12, why would we don't need to break that team up just so you can get a So some of those harsher things, but just me personally, I don't think that my career path has ever lent to that.
Yeah.
How about you?
Nope, because I have a great resume. I've been a top student, and I got riz. I'm personable. I light up rooms when I walk into them. I kill interviews.
But also, you know what's interesting? Having been, having a glimpse at the top and, in those discussions, I've also never experienced somebody being like, hey, we have to hire them because they're Black. That's never been a thing. So I also, but even in the sense of when we were trying to make better DEI efforts and trying to improve the diversity in the company and try and showcase it, the best we could do was say, hey, we have to keep the job opening open until we have a diverse selection of people before you can make the decision.
Yeah.
But that did not then mean you had to hire that diverse person. It was just, hey, we need to make sure that we're putting our best efforts in front of us to say, did we actually see enough women?
Yeah.
Did we actually see enough non-white applicants?
Yeah.
And so I think I say that because I think sometimes we fall into the trap of DEI and what they want, what other people want this to be.
Yeah.
When no one's getting a job because you're Black, period. That's not happening. There's no world in which somebody lost the opportunity to have a job because they said, we need one more Negro on this team.
But if they did, they're hiring the smartest, best Black person they can possibly find.
It's they're not hiring a dumbass Black person, just to fill a quota.
Yeah.
So I think also it is that thing of even if you are a DEI hire, good. That means that you were so great. They needed your diverse thinking. They needed your diversity to help improve the company.
Yeah.
No business is hiring someone that's what they want us to think, y'all. They want us to think that DEI has to be some bad, self-deprecating slot. That I don't feel like I have been, but I think you should be proud that you are one. You know what I mean? I don't think that there has to be some sort of oh, it was a DI or that means you must have been fucking amazing.
It's a badge of honor versus a negative thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to go get people who, again, I'm going to get the best of the best, but again, because they do the same thing. Everybody does the same.
I was going on that point, right? I haven't been a DEI hire, but I have been hired because I knew people in the company or they brought me over. So because of who I am and them knowing me, I've gotten the job off the rip. It hasn't been because I was Black or white or whatever. It's because I knew the right person.
But that's how it should be. Because then it's just based off of your network.
Exactly.
Because I can also tell you I had a very Black team. I didn't hire people just because they were Black. Because I tell you, I said a no to a lot of people because I was like, absolutely not. You will not be a great addition to this team.
So let me ask y'all as hiring executives, last question probably. If you got a Black applicant, a white applicant, and an Asian applicant, and they all the same on paper, who you hire?
The one I can have a beer with.
Okay. I'm hiring the Black one. I don't think it's the same. I was hiring the Black one off the rim. For real.
Same across the
board. We can have more
conversations. But you got to understand who's the person I probably would
it's going to be the Black person. It's probably going to be the Black person.
It's probably going to be. But the only reason why I said the beer,
the Black person
because they might be weird as shit.
Yeah.
And I might, that's why it's I can't just say that because also if they're weird as shit and the Asian person, I'm like, damn, you cool as shit.
Yeah.
I want you on the team so I can actually, say whatever I got to say because just because you Black, all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Fact.
I mean, not even that. Or just who you really can't vibe with where you're like, hey, we need to, no, not that. Just like, we need to move on this pace and you moving like this. Because you like, there's so many other things, where it's like on paper you're good, but then when we talking, I'm like, can you get to the point?
Right.
Why are you telling me 75 stories about something else? Because now I'm concerned that the paper don't match.
Exactly. So that's a good point. The paper don't always show the true story, right? It's a lot more than how you look on paper. Yeah. So what are some of our call to action closing thoughts?
I'll start. Be proud to be a DEI hire. If anybody ever tells you or tries to make you feel less than because of it, stand in a place of empowerment. Let's do with DEI what we did with the N-word, but in a much more positive light.
Okay.
I'm gonna probably take yours, Otis. I don't know. I like it. It was you could be brilliant and black. It's not an or.
There's no.
It's an and. Yeah, I'm taking that one.
I like that. I'm going to say, I don't want to be hired because I'm black, but I also don't want to be ignored because I am. Yeah.
I like that.
Boss.
Yeah.
Very insightful.
Yeah.
You got two.
All right.
Well, with that, episode 26 is a wrap. Thank y'all for watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment, follow us on social media, all the good stuff. We love y'all. We'll catch y'all next week.
Love y'all.